Netflix just released probably one of the most powerful AI removers that can remove actual objects out of videos. Now we have in painting where you can remove different objects out of images, but this one is significantly different. As you see, even in the video, they're able to remove objects out of the video, but also remove the interactions that that object would cause, which makes sense. Objects, a lot of times in videos or in real life, have other cause and effect situations. So Netflix Void is now, well, taking a step forward and being able to remove not just the object, but the action that the object would cause. They have the abstract here that says existing video object removal methods excel in inpainting content behind the object and corresponding appearance level artifacts such as shadows and reflections, which means that basically they can remove stuff in videos and in images. Not only does it remove the object, but also removes the shadow that the object causes, as well as maybe any particular reflections that it may be in that video or image. But they said, however, when a removed object has more significant interactions such as collisions and other objects, current models fail to correct them and produce implausible results. Meaning basically once they remove them, they can maybe make them not appear, but the interaction that it happened, let's say a ball is thrown into a mitt when somebody's trying to catch it, even though the ball may be removed, the mitt will still jerk back, having that interaction like the mitt was catching something, even if you don't see the ball itself. And this is going to probably make the CIA, the FBI very happy, just because who knows the propaganda that's going to be spread and the misinformation is going to be spread with this, or at least the future model that builds on top of this. This is going to be kind of crazy that we're going to live in a future with these type of tools out there. But anyway, Netflix said they present Void, a video object removal framework designed to perform physically plausible inpainting in these complex scenarios to train the model. They said they generated a new paired database of counterfactual object removals using Kubrick and Humoto. When removing the object requires altering downstream physical interactions during interface, a visual language model identifies regions in the scenes affected by the removed objects. These regions are then used to guide the video. Diffusion model then generates a physical, consistent, counterfactual outcomes. So here are the results that we see. And we see they have this girl who's turning on a blender using the Void model, where you see that she's turning on the blender completely, but once she is inpainted and cut out of the video, you don't even see her at all. You don't really see her shadow, her silhouette, too much of anything coming from Void. Same thing when you see this spinning toothpick device that's knocking over these blocks, that it pretty much does take out the blocks, but as well as it takes out how the blocks will interact with the others. It's not 100% perfect, so the CIA and the FBI can't be too happy with this, right? Because you can still tell minor artifacts, minor blurs. Even with the blocks falling, you can see them hitting up against something, especially that blue block, and it is still some warping there. But we still see how impressive it is when they're playing this giant game of bowling with a freaking kickball, where it removes most of the interactions. You don't even see any type of warping or interactions that aren't supposed to be there. Even with the car collision is actually pretty advanced, because we see that the car just keeps going. And if anything, it looks like the car, I want to say morphs a little bit, but it starts looking like some waves or something is happening there. I think one of the more impressive one is the cat one, where the cat is moving some blocks and it freaking removed the whole cat. But if you look closely at the edge of the block, you can see that the tip of the block morphs a little bit, so you will be able to tell if you are paying attention. But let's be honest, if you're on TikTok or something, or YouTube, and you're just casually scrolling by, you probably won't be able to tell much of anything when it comes to these. Another impressive one is this cat one, where this cat's playing with his toy and then it totally removes it, and you don't see it at all. The ball doesn't move or anything. We see this guy jumping into a pool and removes him. They have a few more examples of this happening, and I do think it's pretty impressive. But I don't think they have as much motion like we saw with the bowling as we've seen with the person with the blender or the blocks falling. I think a good example also is this duck one though. This duck is being slowly crushed by some weight. I don't know what that is. Top hydraulic press, and then the duck is in the next frame not doing anything, not being crushed at all. If you notice at the end, it does tilt the camera up, like a camera does do some type of jitter at the end. And then you also have like that pillow example where like, there's a weight being applied to a pillow, and the AI takes it away. You don't even see the indent anymore. But if you look closely, you do see all the pillows do lean. You don't see that huge indentation. Something does seem like it's pushing on the pillow, so it seems like what's happening there, but it's not as telling as like huge indentation into the pillow itself. We see here with the Pro Painter that their examples, you can still see a freaking see-through clearish blob happening, almost like some type of spirit or ghost is in the video. We even see that same thing with the diffuse eraser, where we see that diffuse eraser also doesn't do the best job when it comes to this. It's not horrible. I think they're doing a pretty decent job of this too, because Runway ML actually, with the girl with at least the blender, you see that they removed black girl, but the white girl is still in there. So that's interesting, where you see that Void was able to remove both of those. But I do think that Runway ML removed the girl pretty well, but still kept the action of the blender. So it's like the girl looks like she's having some type of mental disorder because she's laughing at a blender just spinning. Nobody turned it on or anything. So that's interesting. And even though this is not the best representations, you probably could have a second pass at this to remove the other girl from the photo, or maybe to remove the blob. Or so who knows how many passes you may need to do with these other ones. But we also see like Max Remover, as well as Rose and Jen Omnimate don't do nearly as good as Void. They definitely honed in on a major problem that's happening with these AI video removal software. And basically here they talk about the method that they use. They say that the method, a user clicks on an object to remove it. The VL-based reasoning pipeline then identifies which other regions of the scene will be casually affected, objects that will fall, collide, or change trajectory, and encodes this into the quad mask that guides the diffusion model. Void's first pass generates a physically plausible counterfactual video with the object and its interactions removed. If the model detects object morphing, a known failure mode of smaller video diffusion models, the optional second pass reruns inferences, uses flow warp noise derived from the first pass, stabilizing object shape along newly synthesized trajectories. So basically what it seems like it's doing in a nutshell, for in layman's terms, is there's like an AI model that not only just looking at the thing that you're trying to remove, it predicts what else is going to happen, right? If I fell back into the bed to go to sleep, the bed may have an impression and indentation, and it's baking that all into the instructions. And then from the instructions, it's mapping out what would change so it can keep up with the changes frame by frame, and then correcting it each frame by frame into a realistic scenario, a correct scenario, would you say? Down here, we do see the past refinement where they talk about how the ball is dribbled, and if it's bad, it'll do another rerun. Same thing with the ukulele. I think that's the first time I actually seen ukulele actually spelled, but still looks pretty good. Also, with the training data, this kind of goes into what I was saying, where they have these objects sliding together, but you can see the input video versus the quad mask, which tracks shoe and other objects in there. And this is pretty advanced because there's multiple objects acting on this cone or whatever is being tossed in the middle and hitting the shoe, and it's tracking that so that in the output it doesn't have that problem. It can not have that collision. It can be a little bit more normalized. Same thing with the guy walking the maze. The guy tracks the maze and steps, so you can remove him without having any type of other artifacts. And I believe this is available in Hugging Face, and that means we're gonna of course try this out ourselves to see how well this actually runs. I'm going to try out some of these. Let's see if I can try the video, right? Where it has this input video of this person grabbing a can, and it says a soda can on the table. Let's see what happens. And we see the quad mask of the person grabbing the can and crushing it to track the actions, but a soda can on the table without the can. Let's see what happens if I try to run this. Of course, I have to pay for the pro account in order to do this. I hit my daily limit. That's crazy. Let's see what happens if I log into this. Let's try this again. Soda can example. Boom, bada bada boom. Unlock 5x more AI power with Pro. $9 a month. Listen, I did try. AI is pretty expensive. With this gas prices, this could get me at least to a stop sign down the street, right? I'm not sure if I want to pay the $9 a month for this one example, but if you want me to do a more in-depth one with trying some more of these, please like and subscribe, and comment down below void, and I'll pay the $9. I'll pay the max tier in order to run any generations, and we can maybe even do a live stream and just test this out together. That being said, your boy Dexter out.